Welcome back to Rabid Noise. Joining me on the program now is Mille Petrozza from Kreator. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, man. How you doing, man?
Very good, thank you. And it's an absolute honour to have you on the show tonight. Well, you're just about to hit our shores with Death Angel for the United Thrash Nations tour. And when it was announced down here, most metalheads I know just went into an absolute frenzy. It looks like it's going to be such a huge tour. What are you most excited about coming back down here?
Everything, man. It's been way too long. You know, we haven't toured Australia since 2009, and in my opinion, this is too long. You know, so we're looking forward to come back to play for our fans. You know, and it's gonna be great. You know, I totally look forward to this, and of course, being on a tour on the same bill with Death Angel, be great. Kreator and Death Angel in one bill is going to be good. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be great. We will definitely. It's going to be also a challenge, you know, to play with such a great band like Death Angel on the same bill in the same night. So it will be a lot of fun.
Oh, everyone's looking forward to it. It's going to be huge, especially up here in Brisbane. You've released 13 killer albums to date, and when it comes to preparing a set list for a tour, how do you pick which songs to play because you've got so many albums?
And this is one of the hardest parts. It's of course, you know, there's the classic songs from the early days of Kreator that we need to be in the set list. Then there's of course the newer material. Of taken off of Phantom Antichrist, which we are very proud of, and we want to present to our fans. And then there's some other fans' favorites that sometimes we do play and sometimes we don't, you know. And it's very hard to please everyone. But we'll bring you like an hour and a half of Kreator music, and there should be something for everyone in there. We try to cover every album, you know, but it's hard. It's getting harder and harder after 13 albums.
Oh, of course. And there's so many, and they're all good. So it would be hard to be like, oh, how do we pick the ones that, you know, but I suppose, do you mix it up each night?
No, we have a light designer with us, and so we cannot mix it up too much, you know. So we play the same set list every night in order to present the whole, because the music is only a part of the whole show, you know. We have many technicians traveling with us, and so we don't mix it up so much.
Over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of younger bands coming out, heavily influenced by thrash and especially earlier metal. Why do you think that is?
It's this new generation, man, and they are listening to the stuff that we created back in the day, and so for that matter, to me, it's just natural that they take the influences from early stuff. I think it's great, man. I think it's definitely a exciting times for metal, you know, because you can tell that the people are, you know, the kids are doing their homework. That's great, and they come up with some great stuff, you know. There's some really cool stuff coming out from the younger generation, and it gives us a kick in the butt also, you know. So we can the older bands are really sometimes if I hear a newer band that's really cool, I'm getting inspired, you know.
Oh, of course. But are there any bands that have really drawn your attention of late, like newer bands, younger bands?
A band that doesn't really play thrash metal, but they're from Finland. They're called Beast Milk. They're really good. They sound like. Do you know them?
They're like one of my favorite bands now.
They're great, aren't they?
Oh, that Climax album is probably my favorite album of last year.
It's an amazing album, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Them and another band, of course, again from Finland, Lost Society. They're not bad. They're thrash metal, a little bit like Municipal Waste maybe, or like Nuclear Assault, that kind of thing. And I like them a lot. They're a cool band. They
are, and their new album's great too. Love those.
Well, there's still stuff happening. You know, there's still bands coming, and the classic bands like the older thrash metal or death metal or whatever, you know, in any metal genre, coming up with good albums as well. So it's times for metal have never been better, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. It definitely feels like it's stronger than ever now, and it's taking things back to how it should be. You know, there was a few years there, you'd probably agree, you know, it got a bit cheesy with the new metal and the rapping and the... and all that
I'm happy it's over, man.
But it's good times for metal right now, indeed. But when it comes to songwriting, where do you draw your influences, especially these days?
Good question. Anything from newer bands to classic bands. You know, of course, I listen to a lot of the old stuff still. I listen to all kinds of music. I don't only listen to metal. So it could be anything from bands like The National, Old Motley Crue, Muse, you know, you name it. I listen to so many different styles. And, so, you know, absorbing music and having it influence our own sound it's always like an interesting ride, and it's an interesting, as soon as the creative process starts, it's always a great journey, you know.
Do you find, I've spoken to some bands where they purposely don't listen to metal when they go into writing, like a new album or where they want to experiment. Do you take that approach?
You know, sometimes you write a riff and sometimes it sounds like some other riff, but I don't care, you know. As long as it's not a rip-off, I'm fine with it, you know. It's like music it's very strange, you know. I think it has to be entertaining. So it's not important whether this riff sounds like an old Metallica or Possessed riff or something. It's important of what you make out of it, you know. And as long as you don't rip it off and copy the riffs, then it's fine, you know. If you're inspired by metal, it's the best thing to be inspired by, you know, in my opinion.
Oh, of course. Definitely. A few years ago, I was at a party, and a friend of ours who's a massive Kreator fan put on one of your albums and screamed at the top of her lungs, "Kreator is better than sex." Are there any albums or bands...
It's about sex life, then.
She loves Kreator that much.
Okay.
Are there any albums or bands that make you feel the same way?
Not better than sex. So yeah, I mean, that's a very nice compliment. It's probably the best compliment you can get, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we thought it was awesome because she was just so into it. Yeah, so she really loves you guys.
That's great. That's nice to hear. That's so great.
You should get some shirts printed with that on there.
All right.
Some chick shirts.
All right. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, what's next for Kreator?
I'm writing right now, but it's very hard because, you know, we're touring constantly, and it's hard for me to find the time to really write good stuff, you know. And probably 2015, 2016 or something around that time.
Definitely can't wait to hear that, because if it's anything like your last album, it's going to be killer.
Yeah, we want to make it even more killer, man, the next one. Looking forward to that also.
Well, we're going to go to the track Phantom Antichrist now. Thanks so much for hanging with us on the program tonight, Mille, and we'll see you in Brisbane at the Hi-Fi on April 19th.
All right, man. Can't wait for that, man. It's going to be great, man. Thanks for your support, and take care.